Hello and welcome to TSG Foundation's Wisdom of the Zodiac class. Today I will be talking about the celebration of the Sun in Pisces. And this discussion and meditation is taken from Wisdom of the Zodiac by Gita Saraydarian, Volume 4, Chapter 38, titled Pisces, Soul and Personality. This whole chapter is about how to become a unified personality and put that unity under the control of the soul. It's a very important step in our spiritual expansion. We will see in our steps of spiritual expansion that there is a beginning time when we are just taking care of our physical body, making it pure and beautiful and making it disciplined. Then we go to the emotions and purify that and make our emotions calm and loving and expressing the best that's inside of us. Then we work on our mind to make it clear, thoughtful, responsive to the life around us. And then we start unifying all three together so that we are not just one part or the other, but we are unified under one whole personality. Eventually, as life progresses, and as we discipline our bodies and bring them together under a unification, we see that we are expressing ourselves as a soul. The soul is controlling everything. We have a purpose, we have a direction, we have a beauty in our life that we aspire toward. And this is what this whole Pisces is about, is to realize by observation, what is my physical body doing? What is it really doing on a daily basis, all on its own? And then observe our emotions and see where your emotional body is leading you. And that's not so easy to do. If you try to observe your emotions, you will find out sometimes that you can't even put your finger on it. What is happening to my emotions? How is my emotional life leading everything in my life? How is it derailing my mind, my thinking, my activities, my words even? So try to observe your emotions and see where your emotional body is. And then after that, try to observe your mind and see how are you thinking? Where are your thoughts leading you on a daily basis? How are your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions conditioning the relationships that you have with all of life? So the symbols in Pisces is the symbol of the fish. In esoteric wisdom, it's two fish. It is a small fish and a large fish. And we are told that the small fish is our personality and the large fish is our soul. And usually what we see in pictures depicted in the wisdom teachings is the two fish are tied together with a string, meaning that the small fish is moving and pulling and pushing the large fish. And so we see that often in our life, that our purpose, our dedication, our principles are not really that lead our life, but our habits do, our expectations do, our culture or social standing does. So this is what we are going to look at during this month and see. You're going to ask yourself, what is leading my life? What is making the biggest splash in my life, the biggest difference in my life? Is it me, my soul, my direction, my purpose in life that's leading what I'm doing? Or is it my personality and my habits? And by asking these very, very important questions, we start differentiating between what is truly us, our own true voice, and what is not us, our personality, our bodies. And there will come a time in our life when we will have our three bodies obey the soul that is in us, the voice that is in us, and that's what we are moving toward. And we will see there are a lot of ups and downs in our life. Sometimes we get stuck. For example, the body is put under discipline, working really well, and doing everything we want it to do, but the emotions are haywire. They are really controlling us. We are attracting the wrong people in our life. We are attracting the wrong events and the wrong conditions in our life, and we have no way to control that. And so we have to take a look at our life in a very detached way and find out what is really going on. And when you do that, you will see that you will move from the domination of the physical, the emotional, then the mental. Then what you will see is the physical, emotional, and mental bodies organize, and they become together, and they organize against the soul. This is the strongest conflict that occurs in our life. And you can see that in your life. If the physical body fights against the soul, it is easy to knock him down. But when the three bodies are united against the soul, they fight as a unit. So you will see sometimes that everything in your life is together. Your family's together, your finances are together, your business is together. Everything is working well, but something inside you is not right. And you want to ask that question, what is going on? That's when the soul has to take charge and come out and bloom and say, I'm in charge, and we are going to see where we're going next. So when you do that, there are going to be two different powers that you will utilize in your life. These powers are called rays in the esoteric wisdom. And so you have the first ray and the second ray. The first ray, the qualities are to have power, to have will, to have purpose and direction. Your decisions are decisions, what you say you're going to do. And that's a very strong and beautiful energy that you have inside of you. You're a doer, you're a finisher. And that is very prominent at the time of Pisces. And it has, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different qualities that you have to look at so that it doesn't take you in the wrong direction. This willpower can take you in the wrong direction if you don't look at these 4 different sections that are discussed in this chapter. So if you're working with this first ray energy, here are 4 things that you need to make sure you can focus on. Let me just mention all 4 of them, and then I'll discuss one of them. First one is master your difficulties. Master them. The second one is solve your problems. The third one is master karmic conditions. And the fourth one is strive toward physical and spiritual achievements. Notice that they are very, very strong words: master, strive, solve, because that is the power of the first ray. The power of the first ray is it helps you make things happen. So you're going to harness that power instead of using it to have self-defeating habits. You're going to harness that power of the first ray to master yourself. Master your difficulties. Because only in mastering difficulties will you be graduated to higher levels. You see, sometimes people with a first ray tendency have very destructive tendency toward themselves. Instead of mastering difficulties, they will beat themselves up. They will not try to solve the problem behind it. And that's where you come to the next question. Solve your problems. Don't just complain about it and moan and groan about it. Solve them. Find out what is really happening in your life. And don't try to run away from them. This is very interesting when you look at number 2, and I really like this one. It's a second discipline to be practiced in working with the first ray. You see, don't use the first ray energy to destroy yourself, but remove the problems. The best way to solve your problems is not to use the measures of your personality, but the inspiration of your soul. You see, this is very, very important. If you feel like you have the same problems continuing in your life with one relationship, with one work-related problems after another, with one financial problem after another, if you have recurring themes in your life, that means that you are not only not solving your problems, but you are using the wrong measures to solve your problems. You cannot use the same problem-solving methods rather, and expect different answers. So the lesson in Pisces is to depend on your highest inspiration through meditation, through thinking about cause and effect. You're going to find out what is really behind these problems. Willpower is the ability to master the conditions and situations of your life and body. So my advice at this time is, if you see things recurring in your life, whether it's people taking advantage of you, or not having things in your life that you want, or not being able to express yourself as you really are, or one of the other things that I see prevalent in people's lives is their proclivity to have their emotions control their life. Their emotions run their life and run away with their life. These are indications for you to see what the problem really is and try to solve it in the highest way that you can. And you're not going to find the solution by going to different people, looking at books, looking outside of yourself. You're going to find the solution by looking inside of yourself and asking very honestly, without any illusion or glamour. You see, the idea is you can't cover it up with illusion and glamour. Those are personality measures. Without any illusion or glamour, you're going to say, what is really going on here. What I've found out is we are very quick to blame other people, life conditions, for taking advantage of us or hurting us, and that's usually not the case, okay? The next thing I'd like to just discuss a little bit is master karmic conditions. You might think, how do I master karmic conditions? Here's the key 2 statements here that I love on page 465. And really study this and look at it seriously, because I think it will make a huge difference in your life. Karma leads you into difficult places, difficult situations, conditions, and relationships, and sticks you with them. Isn't that the truth? Do you see life sticking you with certain conditions and situations and relationships that recur and recur? You're going to find out why that is. And you can't just resist it. You can't dismiss it. You can't blame it. You can't blame other people. Let me say also, you can't even blame yourself. Of course, if you know any better, you wouldn't do the things that you do, right? So you're not going to play that game at all. Here's the next statement that makes the most sense to me and that I've had to learn, and I'm sure you are learning yourself. Karma must be taken as your friend, teacher, and counselor, okay? If you're in a bad situation, you must not hate that situation, but love it and cooperate with it. This is very, very important for your mental and emotional health and well-being, is take what is happening to you, recurring problems, recurring sticky situations, whether they are financial, whether they are personal, whether they are emotional, whether they are depressing tendencies that you have and sadness. Take them as messengers from your soul telling you, pay attention, something is wrong. So you need to pay attention to these things. Take them as your friend, teacher, and counselor, because life is telling you something. I heard somebody tell me just a few days ago that very serious things happen in their life and they see it as a gift to them. And I was really moved by that, and I admire that very, very much, to see the difficulties in your life as gifts that will help you overcome. And karma must be solved by cooperating with it, paying it, finishing it. So these sticky things that recur in our life and attract things to us that we don't want must be removed from their cause, from their root, okay? Now, there are several steps to take to develop the other energy in Pisces, which is called in esoteric wisdom the second ray. What is the second ray? It is the ray of love, wisdom. It is the ray that makes us harmonious with all of life. And these are so beautiful. And there are, let me see, 7 different steps that you can take to develop that second ray. And I have seen in my life that if people don't develop this ray of love, compassion, their willpower, their ability to focus, their ability to stay on track and on purpose will cause a lot of pain and a lot of suffering in their life, because they will be hurting themselves and a lot of people with that willpower that they have. So if you do not develop that second ray of love, compassion, you will see that willpower energy will burn through you, will burn through relationships and make you really suffer and be alone. So be very, very careful with that first ray power. If you have it, try to cultivate the second ray. If you have a lot of love and compassion and you don't have enough first ray, you need to develop that first ray energy too. So the two have to go together. So what are the steps that you need to take? Let me summarize. Number 1, be creative. Very important. Be creative in everything that you do, whether it's art or painting or writing. It's also solving problems in the most creative and loving way that you can. It is not a straight willpower approach to solving problems, but a loving, compassionate way to understand what is really going on in your life. The second one is exercise the discipline of purity. In my experience in life, if you purify your physical body of toxins, if you purify your emotions of old spent memories and griefs, if you purify your mind, your intention, and your motive, then you have 3 pieces that you can work with that will really take you to where you want to go. Just remember this. Purify yourself from toxins of the mental and emotional and physical nature. Number 3, develop inclusiveness. Because of the sense of willpower and the sense of purity, is it possible to become very separative? Yes, it is. Sometimes people in the religious and spiritual fields are the most separative. Regular people who have no inkling about religious or spirituality are not separative at all. But we have a tendency to be separative because we think we're right and everybody else is wrong. And we need to really, really take that into consideration. How many wars, how many atrocities in the world have been committed, are being committed right now in the name of religion, of spirituality, of one's beliefs. People really wound and help hurt others and hinder other people's progress through their so-called religious and spiritual belief systems. This is not what true spirituality of the soul is all about. Spirituality of the soul is to be inclusive. Develop inclusiveness in your heart. And the next step is develop tolerance. And we will meditate today on tolerance. It means to concentrate on possibilities rather than hindrances. Every time you look at a problem, you look at a hindrance in your life, find out what the possibilities are underneath that hindrance. And you will find the ability to be tolerant of the process, of the time that it can take, of the conditions that are needed. See, it develops in you that sense of tolerance, that longevity, that ability to see things from a large perspective, an expanded heart. Okay, it's very, very important. The next one is to develop forgiveness. In Pisces, you must work very hard to be forgiving. It's really important, because if you have a lot of belief and really believe in what you want to do in your life, and you develop that strict adherence to principles, you can be very unforgiving of yourself when you make a mistake and of others. So very important. And if you have that first ray power, you will have a tendency to be really harsh on yourself and harsh on other people. So when you forgive, you disperse the clouds that are accumulated near your head. This is so important. People who have a lot of heavy belief and faith in certain things, exclusive of other people, intolerant and unforgiving of other people, have a tremendous amount of pressure and clouds that are accumulated around their head, and they need to remove that. So when you find yourself heavy with unforgiveness, with pain and intolerance in you, try to forgive, try to let go, try to disperse those clouds. Number 6 is dedication. In Pisces, the tendency toward dedication is present, but you must exercise discrimination in choosing that to which you will dedicate yourself. So find what it is that you want to really dedicate yourself to during this month, and really try to stick to it. Because why? We are moving from the idea of being servant, serving people, giving to people, helping people, to helping people to become something different, something better, transforming their life through our presence, through our gifts, through what we do for them. So you are taking this entire system of helping others into a new level altogether, which is, in this esoteric wisdom, is called to become a savior. A savior is a person who became a bridge, you see, from ugliness to beauty, from darkness to light, from unreality to reality. I love this. This is from the Upanishads. From chaos to beauty, from separatism to unity. Saviorship is the path which leads you to your future destination and vision. So you're going to be a bridge. By the beauty that you are, by the wholeness that you are, you become a bridge so that other people see that possibility in you. If you have achieved, so can they. And it's a beautiful becoming an example for other people. And 7th, how to develop your second ray is to develop devotion. Devotion is not emotional. Devotion means to have gradually expanding vision and step by step to identify with it. This is very important for me, and I've seen it in my life and other people's life. Sometimes we are devoted to an ideal, toward a goal, toward a purpose in our life, but we need to be devoted to something larger, because when we achieve that purpose and that place in our life, we need to be able to expand that vision to the next step. And that takes a lot of courage, a lot of devotion, not to the item itself, but devotion to becoming your true self, to becoming that greater being that you want to be. Does that make sense? So you can be devoted to one thing, or you can be devoted to the spirit in that one thing. And so that keeps you continuously growing and expanding. So these are just beautiful ideas for you to consider. Again, that you will become soul conscious, and you will have the large part in you, the soul part in you, leading the other bodies inside of you, leading you toward more concentrated, willful, purposeful, mindful life that is also loving, compassionate, and caring and tolerant of the entire life around you. This is so beautiful, because if we don't marry those two energies together, we will become very separative and intolerant, and we will be hurting ourselves as well as other people around us. So remember those 2 points, and let us now take a few minutes to do this beautiful meditation. That's given on page 469 and 470. I will follow it. We will start with the Great Invocation. We will do a seed thought meditation, and then I will say the beautiful mantra affirmation of a disciple and have you repeat after me. It is so beautiful. As you repeat it after me, visualize the true meaning of what this mantra is. Okay, so sit up straight, put your back straight, and have a nice smile on your face. And as you're saying the Great Invocation, and we're saying it together, think of the hundreds, if not thousands, of people all over the world celebrating this time of Pisces, the time of being a bridge to humanity toward what? Happiness, joy, and bliss, and helping people transform themselves through you becoming a bridge. All right. Let us say the Great Invocation together. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Let us say one silent Om. Now let us meditate on the seed thought. Tolerance means to concentrate on possibilities rather than hindrances. Consider what are the possibilities in your life right now that you need to notice and take advantage of, and so that you can move to the next step in your life. What are the possibilities right now in your life? Have faith that there are many, many possibilities waiting for you to be discovered. See if you can go deep in your wisdom and find out what those are. Take as much time as you need to dedicate yourself to the possibilities in your life. See if there are business opportunities, opportunities for companionship, for healing and forgiveness. I'm sure there are people out there that you need to ask forgiveness from or forgive in your life. See what possibilities there are for expanding your love and understanding and tolerance. Think of people that you may have wounded and been intolerant toward. See what the possibilities are to spread your love. Repeat after me. I'm a point of light within a greater light. I am a strand of loving energy within the stream of love divine. I am a point of sacrificial fire focused within the fiery will of God. And thus I stand. I am a way by which men may achieve. I am a source of strength enabling them to stand. I am a beam of light shining upon their way. And thus I stand. And standing thus revolve. And tread this way the ways of men. And know the ways of God. And thus I stand. This affirmation of a disciple is a very powerful mantra that you can say to remove doubt and self-pity out of your life. Concentrate on the possibilities in your life. I really love that. And you don't have to think very big and very far. Think of the possibilities that are present right now in your life to say, I love you to someone, to forgive someone, to be tolerant of somebody's problems, try to listen to someone, help someone. There are possibilities right around you right now that you can take advantage of. And in my opinion, little possibilities lead to big ones. Take care of the little things around you, and then the next step will be open for you. So thank you very much for joining me. It is always a pleasure for me to give these wonderful teachings. And during the month of Pisces, as you celebrate the sun in Pisces, look at the way that you can expand your willpower in your love and marry the two together to bring true wisdom in your life. So thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.